The person who's the Panchen Lama today is 40, but he was
chosen by the Chinese as a
yeah, he was 6 at the time when he was selected. So, there may not be another Dalai Lama. You never know.
So this is a classic case of uh, power coming in and ruining things.
Well, they would say that Tibet was almost medieval. I mean, backwards. So they brought roads and electrical grids, but they have suppressed Buddhism, and the monasteries are basically tourist centers now. And so, the Tibetans who had not left Tibet for thousands of years, suddenly they're scattered all over the world, like here in Indiana. So Tibetan culture will be preserved, and that's the purpose of this monastery.
So just like in Brazil, the destruction of the rainforest, they're losing all the indigenous knowledge of all these different plants that have medicinal values. That's being lost.
I know.
And then it's sort of similar to what you're saying in Tibet is that all indigenous culture is being scattered and
Right.
decent.
Yeah, Brazil is really sad because, I mean, the Amazon is vital for the planet. At least Tibetan culture is being saved, uh, but the country itself is suffering for sure. Mongolia is too, uh, but that's because of global warming. So they're having a really hard
I
time.
actually went to the solar eclipse 2008 in China, so I ended up northwest China,
Oh yeah.
and I actually crossed over to part of China that's right next to Mongolia
Uh-huh.
to see the 2008 eclipse. So then I had a lot of interaction with the local indigenous people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you my website. It's www.eclipse-chaser.com slash eclipse-chaser dash
Chaser.
dot com slash 2008 slash 2008.
Okay.
And then there's another website. There was another solar eclipse in China in 2009, so the same website, but slash 2009.
Yeah.
There, I was planning to watch the eclipse from Imei Shan. Have you heard of Imei Shan? It's a
No.
Buddhist, secret Buddhist mountain, 9,000 foot.
Okay.
It's a World Heritage Site.
Nice.
From Los Angeles, $800. China Eastern Airlines from LA to Chengdu.
Wow.
You know Chengdu?
No.
It's Southwest China.
Okay.
$800 will get you there. $35 bus trip. Boom, you're at Imei Shan. You can. It's all well. You got buses up to the, and then you can hike all the trails on Imei Shan. I mean, all these different monasteries were like $6 a night.
Wow.
I encourage you to do that. I did that.
Yeah.
I have it all documented on pictures. You can go to the website there and you can see the links.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and then guess what? 2009. Yeah, 2009. I was observed the eclipse from Imei Shan. The weather process didn't look good, so what I did is I hired a German driver with a Chinese wife, Mitsubishi 4x4. We went to the Eastern Tibetan Plateau, 16,000 feet.
Wow.
And we turned the corner and we saw this 24,000 foot Everest-like mountain.
Yeah.
And I observed the eclipse right below it.
Wow. That's awesome.
The pictures don't do it justice. You can see pictures, but when you see visually the white snow cap, it was amazing. It's like it blew me. It's one of the most pivotal moments in my life.
You saw the eclipse recently?
Yeah, I was in Southern Illinois.
Okay. I was here, and the monks, there were 4 monks, they were doing a ceremony, and they had on these wacky glasses, and the Washington Post was photographing them as they were watching the eclipse. It was interesting. But out here, like in town, the street lights came on, but out here there's no lights. So It was pitch black. Well, it was as dark as it could get.
What did you think? Was that your first eclipse?
Yes, yes.
The previous Great American Eclipse of 2017, I was in Southeast Oregon.
We had a partial. It was still nice, but we weren't in the cone.
Yeah, you need to get into totality.
Yeah, we weren't there.
Back then, I think I knew some people who went to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
It was total. It was total there.
Yeah, me too. And they said the roads getting back were like a disaster, and so people in Bloomington thought it was going to be like that. It wasn't.
There was all this hype about the traffic to the eclipse. That was, I guess, okay, and only if you left right after the eclipse where the traffic really congested. If you just waited a bit, and it wasn't really a problem.
Yeah.
Even the 1991 solar eclipse in Baja, Mexico, La Paz.
Mm-hmm.
Again, those stupid articles are saying, "Oh, this gas station could run out of gas." That's just totally ridiculous. It's just people don't know what the heck they're talking about. These are the so-called experts.
Yeah, they said, "Get your food, get your gas. Don't plan to eat in restaurants." And it probably suppressed tourism because the city, like the day of the eclipse, it was really quiet.
Yeah. So I'm glad you saw it. I mean, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They had a special event. People went to the Speedway.
Right.
I knew some people went there. They saw the eclipse.
Well, they had a thing at the IU Stadium with William Shatner. I don't know how many people showed up, but surely it was not full. I mean, and part of that was to try to get people off the roads. So they had a big performance concert.
Yeah. Even I believe it was a 2017 Southern Illinois University. By the way, SIU Carbondale, I think it was in totality in both 2017 and this 2024. Yeah. That was just kind of amazing.
I heard something on the news. Eclipse tourism is like apparently you do it, but people are going to be traveling to Spain.
Right, that's 2026, 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I highly encourage you. It's a great way to see the world.
Yeah.
Because you go to see the eclipse, and then after the eclipse, you do some tourism.
Right.
So you get, in case you don't see the eclipse,
mm-hmm.
You still tourism. But I would say, Jesus, it's what a bang for buck. You get to see an eclipse and do some, you experience world culture.
Yeah, I agree.
2006, it was, I was on the border with Egypt and Libya. Saloum, the old World War II battlefields of El Alamein. I went right by them, and I actually observed in an area, and there was still some active area with landmines.
Dumb.
So I actually ventured into that area. There was a mausoleum, and I actually put my stuff in there, and I observed the eclipse outside of a private mausoleum, and the owners came by. They're real cool about it. You hear the foreigner come out and just sort of almost desecrated the remains of their ancestors, but they were totally cool about it.
Yeah. Did they tell you not to walk out there?
No, it was the organizer that told me not to walk out there. So then they had no problem. So then 1999 was in Turkey. Mm-hmm. There's a big civil war in Turkey between with the Kurdish rebels, the Kurdish PKK. I don't know if you heard of them. PKK is 35,000 people killed in this civil war. It's on the southeast area of Turkey, near the border with Syria, Iran, and Iraq. Yeah, it was real interesting.
Yeah,
I experienced the local people. They're all Kurdish.
Yeah,
and there are dark-skinned people. And they're the local indigenous people. Whereas when I landed in the main city of Turkey, they're westernized. Blonde women with blonde hair. So I was taking a bus, $25 bus from I forgot. The old days was Constantinople. Now these days I forgot what the name is. Yeah, and the local Kurdish kids in the back, they pointed to the blonde hair Turkish woman and says that's Turkish, and he pointed at us. So you can tell there's some ethnic animosity. So then it was really neat. I was part of a scientific group that was in Elazig. Elazig is that town. And
I've never been to Turkey. I've been to Greece.
you definitely need to go to Turkey. It's a Roman ruins. It's a great place for tourists. Inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
See all these Roman ruins,
Mm-hmm.
and these local Kurdish teenagers. They're practicing English, so they were invited to help these American scientists. Get around. They took us cave exploring. Well, just minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
Yeah, it's always nice to meet local people.
These kids, they were kids. They were teenagers.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Yeah. And then 2001, it was Zambia. Right next, I flew. I took a 4x4, and we were on the border of Angola and Zambia. Angola is that French colony that a lot of violence there. It's kind of dangerous. So I observed in a small village there. It's all on my website. So you say /2001, you'll see it. Yeah. And it was amazing. There was people were commuting to work on foot. I mean, we're talking about Africa here. Mm-hmm. We just got off the road, and there's an African village. Still, it's almost like in the old, I mean, real African culture, not Western. So 2002 was South Africa. I was on the border of South Africa and this is what happens when you chase solar eclipses. Yeah. It was the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe. You know what's going on in Zimbabwe? No. Robert Mugabe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that guy just turned everything upside down. He attacking white farmers. The whole economy's been disrupted. The inflation is insane. So that country is being totally wrecked by giving it back to so-called locals. And even South Africa is running into that right now.
Yeah. I heard that. So
then I took a break. I didn't do any. There was a eclipse 2010 in Australia. I taken a break, but now I really want to get back to it. Mm-hmm. So you're local here?
Yeah.
Do you live here or you live?
I live in Bloomington. I just kind of help the monks.
So it's real nice to meet you. And are you interested observer, or are you like a Buddhist yourself?
I am a Buddhist. But I kind of assist with Arja Rinpoche when he needs something written, and so it sounds like it's written by.
So you're educated at Indiana University? Yeah. What was your major?
English.
And what year did you graduate?
76, something like that.
I graduated University of Illinois in 78 with a bachelor's in electrical engineering.
Okay, wow, nice.
And so my summer 81 office mate, Marty Belcher, co-founded Tesla Motors. Mm-hmm. A few years ago, was market capitalization of over $1 trillion. This is what happens when you become an electrical engineering and computer science major. I mean, the University of Illinois has supplied a lot of Silicon Valley entrepreneurs.
Yeah. At IU, they're supplying Crane with engineers for the military-industrial complex. I mean, the drone stuff in Israel, part of that came out of here.
That's awful, I'll tell you that. I was involved with aerospace defense. I'm not getting involved with any of this garbage, killing people for this MI, military-industrial complex. I mean, it's just obvious.
Well, I don't know if you were here. They're still protesting on campus. And the head of the university called in
state police
with guns.
And it happened in Emory University. I was visiting my sister, whose husband is a Emory University developmental biology professor. Yeah. There was a big protest at Emory. The Emory president called in the Georgia State Police, and they threw down 2 white female economics professors. I'm threw them under the ground. The CNN live on TV. I cannot believe what I just saw.
Well, the American Civil Liberties Union came in to defend. They arrested 56 people and
Here.
students, yeah, and professors, and they dropped the charges. From what I
Okay.
but still, I mean, they had a vote of no confidence on the president.
You think IU president is gonna? He has to resign. I mean, that's
It's
the.
a woman.
Oh, really?
The trustees appointed her. She's supportive. She's business. She's not education. But 80% of the professors gave her no vote.
Right.
And she said, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm staying here."
Guess what? A year ago, Texas A&M, their female president had to resign. There was some scandal involving. She had to resign.
Well, they don't have a scandal, but I mean, pulling guns on students is bad enough.
All right, then all these universities, University of Illinois, they were protests all over. USC,
Yeah,
UCLA.
I know.
The USC was interesting. The valedictorian was a person of color, and she had to modify her speech or something. That was ridiculous. So,
Yeah,
I
I think they're running scared. Universities right now.
look at the Columbia University president, and then Harvard was a black woman. She had to resign. The Columbia female president had to resign. Of course, Columbia, and also MIT really got hit hard. These students are saying, "Look, forget it."
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's I mean, I'm critical, I guess, of the Republicans who are pushing this anti-academia thing. So they've been doing that for years.
The University of Wisconsin. Do you remember what the?
Madison.
Yeah, that the Koch brothers, KOCH.
Yeah.
They're pro oil, and they got to the point that they are really anti-academia. Something about to the point that the University of Wisconsin went to the Rose Bowl. The Badgers. Okay, they went to the Rose Bowl, and there was a big pro rally at Santa Monica, and one woman from Wisconsin held a sign protesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. She was there for football, but at the same time, she was an activist against the Wisconsin state of Wisconsin government. There was a governor who was really bad.
Yeah, and they've got the backing of like people like the Koch brothers and other conservatives, and then you have people like Donald Trump who could very well get reelected.
Look, it's like 4 years ago, we had the same two clowns, Biden and Trump. And this 4 years later, we got the same clowns.
I think Biden's okay, but he doesn't engender a lot of enthusiasm.
Well, what he's doing with the whole Palestine, that is people. He's alienated me. There's some young woman, that says, "No, I'm not voting for Biden. Period. Sorry."
Well, I know. Here's the thing. I don't know how. If you support the Palestinians, it's viewed as anti-Semitic. But
That's garbage. Total garbage.
That narrative took hold. So that's the problem here at IU too. It was the protesters were deemed anti-Semitic.
That argument doesn't even fly. In fact, I know there's a Dr. Chanda Prescott Weinstein. She's a Jewish. Her father was white Jewish. Her mother is black activist. She grew up in LA, really smart. She's a PhD in physics. She's tenured associate professor of New Hampshire physics. She's very outspoken, and she is obviously she's anti-Israel, even though she's Jewish. And she, talked about the whole argument. Looking at the West Bank, she said their argument is incoherent. That's the same thing as anti-Semitic, or it's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's like, well, I grew up during the Vietnam War. You grew up in that era too, the whole unjust war.
Yeah.
We're going through it all over again.
Yeah.
And University of Wisconsin, there was a big protest because one of the big, they invented the whole, what is it, that flammable gas, what is that?
Napalm.
Napalm. And they found the on campus, and they protested, and they got beaten up with sticks by the cops. So the cops were there was a big documentary on PBS. That was horrible.
Yeah.
So we're going through it all over again.
It appears
It's
so.
a big government, like you say, MI, military industrial complex, which President Eisenhower, the famous World War II general, warned about.
Yeah.
You know, the almighty dollar. There was a female cop on the episode series called Cops. That's what she said. I mean, everything she does day to day, you can trace to the almighty dollar.
So www.
Eclipse
Eclipse
dash chaser.
So there's a dash chaser.
Yeah, dash chaser.com / 2008. And
Is there a
2000
dash or a slash before?
slash.
Slash 2008. Okay.
Or / 2009. That's the Eastern Tibetan.
Okay.
In 2006 for the Libya, Egypt. Egypt is a great tourist destination.
Mm-hmm.
It's inexpensive. Again, you get to see Roman ruins, and there's going to be a solar eclipse going through Egypt in the next several years. So make sure you go there. I'll tell you all about it. So great talking with you. Can I get a name?
Marty.
Mhm.
Let's see here. You can. So, this is the name.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're famous.
I'm not famous, but
Okay, great.
you can go to Bandcamp and listen
Okay,
to it.
thank you.